Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie Song if you're just joining us for the first time, and I talk film, family and food. Today I'm going to review one of Nigeria's films that I saw yesterday called God Calling. I like the film, which is why I'm reviewing it, because I said I would only review films that I like before they send the otomoko, is that what they call it, whatever, to my house. So if I don't like a film, I won't go near it. I like the film for some reasons, and I didn't like the film for some other reasons, so I will say both. I like the scale. It was the locations were really nice, and then the special effects, particularly that scene which we saw in the trailer, which I think is what sold the film and pulled a lot of us to the cinemas, where she jumped into Third Mainland. It's like really nice. Like we all clapped in the cinemas. It was nice to see a lot of our veteran actors. Every time that Nkema came out, we laughed for, even if he wasn't trying to be funny, but we just laughed when we saw him. It was just nice, you know, when you like someone, you're happy to see them. I like Bibi, I like his mind. I think his heart is in the right place. However, I had the same problem that I had with Banana Island Girls, which was his first film. But because it was his first, I think that we were not as critical as we might be on the second one. One of the major reasons I'm reviewing this film is because, like I said again, I like Vivi, and I think that he really has something. I think he's one of the filmmakers that will take Nollywood to the next level, because he's pushing the limits. He's not letting himself be held back by the fact that we're not there yet, or maybe this kind of story won't sell, or stuff like that. He's telling the kind of stories he wants to tell, and he's doing the most that he can. However, I think that his writing is not yet ready. If he wants to take writing seriously, he needs to really go back to the drawing board, or not write the script himself, or at least conference it. This story would have been so much better if it had done 2 or 3 more drafts. So I'll take it from characterizations. I didn't really know any of the characters. I didn't know if the husband really loved his wife. So when he announced him, sorry, if you have not watched the film and you're one of those people that don't like spoilers, this might be where you should stop watching me, because some of the things that I would say may be spoilers. But if you're someone who doesn't care, then watch on. So when he started, for instance, to hang out with a girl that was clearly flirting with him, I thought, okay, what does this mean, you know? I didn't understand the point of so many things. So he refused to go home to visit his dad. Apparently this is important because they kept talking about it. His dad was angry he didn't come, but we don't know why. I have to assume that, oh, it's because he married into a rich family and his parents are poor, that's not why he's not going. But it's not, it's not enough. I think sometimes the reason why we're careless with some of those things is because of how wealth is important in Nigeria. So we think that's an explanation enough, but it's not. And we don't even really see him enjoying the wealth, apart from the fact that he lives in a great home. If, for instance, you want to show that, if this is the major conflict between him and his father, the wealth, then we need to see this money. We need to see how his other life doesn't fit in any way with his father's, and so that we can understand why he's trying to create this boundary. But we don't see anything. It's just, well, his dad is angry, he doesn't come, he doesn't go to see him, and then at the end of the day they hug, and that's it. That's what we've spent 2 hours on about. It's like things happen to be convenient for the storyteller, as against things happening naturally. Now there's this lovely little girl in the film who they've sold to us as a very smart kid. Then she wakes up in the morning, doesn't see her mother, doesn't go to look for her mother. The next thing, she tries to cook noodles and blows down the house because they need the child to die. It doesn't work that way. If you know you're going to kill your character, then set it up. If you had set the child up as a precarious little kid, then immediately she entered that kitchen, we would know already that something is going to go wrong, because we've seen this girl like that. But she was such an obedient child. Go to bed, she'll go to bed. Say your prayers, she'll say your prayers. So you come downstairs, you don't see mommy, you don't go outside to look for mommy, and then you go and turn on 5 cookers because you need that to happen for the cause of your story. That's bad storytelling, So the husband, conveniently again, doesn't have friends. So that when his child dies, he has nobody to turn to but this girl that was flirting with him. Why doesn't he have friends? You didn't show us that he was a workaholic. You didn't show us that he was a hermit. There's no reason at all why he doesn't have friends. He just happens not to have friends, you know. If you saw, it's clearly that you just said it. I don't really have friends, so I had nobody else to call. Why? It's unnatural. And there's so many confusing things. So this wife now gets a call from God, and the husband is totally against her responding or something. But in the beginning, the child wanted them to go to church, and he was happy to go to church. But towards the middle of the film, it looked like he wasn't even a Christian at all. So, okay, maybe it's because his child now died and he was angry, but it's you know, there's so many, the story doesn't come together very nicely. That's the major issue I had with the film. And the theme, you know, I'm not sure what the film is about. Is it about a lady dealing with coke addiction? Is it about a woman grieving for her lost child? Or is it about someone answering the call of God? Because none of these things were dealt with. At the end, I thought, why did she even have to be a coke addict? I thought, okay, maybe when God called her, she was going to struggle with this addiction. So it was going to be like the conflict. I really want to hear this man's voice and do his bidding, but this thing is pulling me back. But nothing of that happened. So what really was the point of her having, it also wasn't the reason why her child died. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe there's a backstory, but I didn't get it. God was calling her on the phone. This is such a major issue. But we don't see it. The only place where we see it is when she goes to tell her friend's husband to stop cheating. That's kind of the miracle that we see. And when she gives a beggar food. So we spend these 2 hours about a woman responding to God's call. And this is all that we see. It's not enough. It's not enough. I expected so much more. So those were some of my issues. I felt that if he had had a conference, for instance, writers would have brought these things out. People would have thrown ideas, and then you'd have said, okay, so let's cut this loose end, let's cut this loose end. I always say that because I'm coming from literature, our advantage is that you have an editor who says, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. But in Nollywood, for instance, sometimes you write your own script by yourself and produce it by yourself and direct it by yourself. So there's no other opinion. So there's so many things that you cannot see yourself. Which is why I said this is one of the reasons I want to be saying this thing. I remember something very important that somebody said to me after they watched Desperate Housegirls, that it would have been stronger had the daughter, this is why you should watch my film, because if you haven't watched it, you understand what I'm saying. That it would have been so much stronger if the lady who became somebody's house girl and started posing to other people like the child, that it would have been stronger if the woman's child had actually died, and so the woman was seeing her daughter in her. I remember as well during one of our, when we showed Falling, someone said that it wasn't enough for us to say that she was pro-life because she was a Catholic. This is why she refused to abort her baby. That it would have been stronger if we had said that she was pro-life. Simple. Because already we could see that she was pro-life. She refused to let her husband die. So it would make sense as well if she would refuse to kill her unborn child. You know, stuff like that I wouldn't have thought about. This is why you need other people. So, dear baby, I think you're doing immense work. I like the film. I like how you pushed the limits. I like the emphasis to some of the little things that you took. But in Nigeria speak, the film no done. The story particularly, you know done. You need to cook them again. And there's a reason why Morgan Freeman is often plays God. Your choice of character for God wasn't it. He didn't have the presence and the voice, and you know, this was God. We should have been shaking when we saw the guy. I wasn't shaking. It just looked like one of the smaller angels. So special effects, nice location, beautiful places, all and veteran actors are great. But that shouldn't be the essence of the story. They should support the story. So we need to first of all get the storytelling right. You know, there's got to be, characters have to be developed. The story has to start from A and go to B and go to C, and then, you know, I shouldn't have to think about it too much, wondering what the characters are about, what, you know, what is the essence, what is the theme, you know. It should be very clear to the audience, and I'm not sure that we got that. Still, it's a good film. I would recommend that you go see it. I will try to see Lionheart this week and come to you with my thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more Nollywood stories. Have a very wonderful Christmas and a prosperous New Year in advance.